Lagos State is run like a mafia government. It's that simple, because from the woman in Saleko that they are collecting monthly taxes from, to the business in Lagos Island that, or in Ethiopia, where the LCD will come and collect tax, the local government come and collect tax. What are they using money for? How does it translate to a better life for us directly? Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for opening your office to us. You've been very gracious. No. So I really have that. Don't take that lightly at all. I appreciate it. I appreciate it as well. So it's so funny how I personally, your name is Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour. The last time we spoke to people, when you conducted that interview was confused about the pronunciation of the name.
Yes.
Yes, but we learned a lesson now. So
yes.
Appreciate you again.
Right.
So I'd rather say GRV.
Well, you know, Gbadebo sends a message. Right? It sends a message of history. It also sends a message of where we are going. It's a call to action. Gbadebo. Understand? And that's my mission. And you see the name is following. We are going to crown Lagos. We are going to restore Lagos back to glory. So
now that you're saying, you see how that sounds, right? I say from when you were a child, this had been prophesied, you already knew that this was going to be something we were going to do. As well. I like that. I like that. So the first question I have is this. I was looking around when I knew I was going to speak to you. I was doing my research and I saw it was a post that caught my attention. I think it was I think you have that post in this office. I think one of the support groups where you were, it was like refolding one of the campaign materials.
Architect of the New Lagos.
Architect of the New Lagos. And I think one of the groups wrote, I'm trying to find the exact words. They were like, oh, the new Lateef Jakande.
That is very complimentary.
I saw that and I was like,
yeah. There's only one person that has really said that. It was my deputy, Professor Yufusi. When we went to visit Kodu and we were with Ayobura of Kodu and the Valley of Opopo. And she said it. It's like, Jakande has come back in this one. And I think that's the highest compliment you can give me, because I really respect that man. He's a man that I look up to in terms of his humanity, his love for Lagosians. With what he was able to achieve in 4.5 years could only have been driven by love, you know, and impatience for people to get good service, and impatience for people to start using things they have built and to make sure that the most amount of people have access to it. You know, and that's why he's still remembered till today. I mean, people are still talking about Jakande house, Jakande school, Jakande this, Jakande that, you know. In 4.5 years, if that man was giving 8 years, we would not recognize Lagos. Because, I mean, this guy was talking about, this man, sorry, Alhaji Lateef Jakande was talking about metro lines. Back then, it was Buhari that prevented it from happening. And I knew that he would have delivered those real lines for 4 years, not this 14 years that we are dealing with. The imaginary blue line that nobody used yesterday and nobody's going to use tomorrow, but the whole president keeps going.
So you feel that those kind of irregularities is what is a landmark of this current administration?
Yes, this current administration is built on politics and tokenism.
How so?
Because they point at projects, right? First of all, these projects, they're not openly accountable or transparent about how much it costs for us to even know the pricing that we're getting, to know whether we're getting quality for the money that is being spent. Secondly, there's no politics involved. You always, every 4 years, you hear about Fort Million Bridge. And then after the elections, you don't hear about it again. You have a situation where they say they've been building this rail line for so long, and they won't be able to do 13 kilometers. Meanwhile, they took money to be able to deliver to something plus kilometers. But at the rate they are going to take 200 years to finish all the design that they said they're going to do for in Lagos State, you know. So it's politics. And I'm talking about a situation where even in the same Nigeria, we are doing 175 kilometers in 5 years, Lagos to that. So it's just every 4 years it pulls some tricks. You know. That's when you start hearing about the healthcare insurance. That's when you start coming to the church and showing the healthcare program. But they have 3 years to do that, right? So we need to move past that. We need a Lagos State that is open and transparent. That because revenue from Lagos State that allows it to even operate almost like a country, to be the fourth largest economy in Africa, comes from the people and the business. It doesn't come from oil in the ground. It doesn't come from Abuja sending money down. It comes from taxpayers. So there must be a sacrosanct relationship in terms of social contract, in terms of openness and accountability. And that is lacking in Lagos State. And in doing that and opening up our books line by line item, you can start to see that we're getting value for the money that we're spending, which currently is lacking in Lagos State. That's why I say it's tokenism.
It's tokenism. I understand. It's surprising when people say, not when people say, when you get to realize that we do not have Lagos State government books are not open.
No.
We do not know what is winning and what is coming out. But you've talked about these things, and I have to ask, is this one of the reasons why you were running, or why you are running? This is a double barrel question. You ran as a local government chairman, you ran as a senator, to be a senator, and now to be governor. Mm-hmm. I did some of the things you saw along the line, you were like, you know what, if I do not come in personally to take care of these things, this is my number. So this is, would I be wrong to say these are some of the reasons?
So those are some of the major reasons, right? Politics is not an easy task. It is very demanding on a human being. And a lot of people will not be involved in politics or should not be involved in politics if the government was working. I have no business in politics if the government is working. That's the honest truth. But the truth of the matter as well is we need people that are going to stand up for what is right and be courageous to be able to talk truth to power and create a new system. There are too many young people that they start 1, 2, 3, then they join the ruling party. You cannot be them, join them. They make a decision for themselves. Now, for me, joining the ruling party would only allow for the continuity of this mediocrity that Lagos State has found itself in.
So let me stop you right there. I like that you just explained this. But again, don't you believe in yourself that if you could join the ruling party, which in this case is the APC at the moment, don't you think you would have enough, or you would bring the change that is required? Would I be wrong to say, you know what, I can change these things now?
No, because of the system and foundation which is built, everybody that exists in that party serves the status quo.
Now what is the status quo for you?
State capture. State capture where the resources of the state have been cornered by one man, his family, and his cronies, right? And everything is supposed to amount to an aggregation of resources for them and their interests. So nothing flies in Lagos State if you are not taking care of those interests. And that's why Lagos State development is so stifled, right? That's what happened to Governor Lateef when he wanted to take the waste management system in Lagos State to a step higher. I mean, Visionscape is if you look at the partners and the people that were involved in that, these are world-renowned people that are in waste management globally. And look how they just ruined all of that. So that's what happens when you want to pour new wine into old skin, right? If Ambode contested on a Labour Party and became a governor and had that vision for Lagos State, who would have stifled it? Nobody, right? So that's why one needs the courage to also push and build another party to collect power, so that you can model Lagos State in your vision and not have to be answerable to, you know, a cabal or people that have perpetrated state capture for their interests and their family interests.
It is interesting to hear you say these things, but we know that up until 2019, not up to 2019, up until 2020, if I'm not mistaken, you were a member of the PDP.
I remember PDP.
Yes, you were a car crash, you ran under the platform. Yeah. And these things you are saying about the APC will also be said of the PDP in certain extent. It might not be the same because PDP has never been in power in Lagos. But again, they are Babai Sanders PDP as well.
So for me, it's a bit different with PDP.
Absolutely.
You see, PDP has never ruled Lagos State. So even if you have Babai Sanders, they've not been entrenched in governance. And that's why I chose the PDP, right? It's not a situation where you have a former governor or a former commissioner, former local government chairman.
You have former ministers.
Ministers at the federal level.
It's almost the other.
It's not the same. It's not the same. You know why? Because Lagos State is very peculiar. And you see, you have not had governance to entrench yourself with those resources, with those local governments. You have not done those contracts. You know, there's so many things that has not happened. You might have done things at the national level, but it's very different. Very, very different. Right? And that's why I chose the PDP, because everybody there, first of all, entities of Lagos, majority of them fraud not the people. because they feel an injustice has been done in the sense that indigenous of Lagos have been marginalized.
That's something you are from where you're looking at. Is that fact? Can you point at that and say fact?
Oh, there are so many groups that
because
are
in the APC, we have indigenous negotiations there as well.
You do, but are they governors?
Okay.
And are they not the ones they sent to Abuja? Why can't they be governor of Lagos?
But they are in the system.
And they're in the system, they send them to Abuja. You know how Rome used to be? Rome sent those generals that they're afraid of taking over Rome. You're going to be fighting.
So that's what you think is happening.
Oh,
that's
yes,
why you think they sent them. Okay.
Why can't Femi Gbajabiamila be governor of Lagos State? Does
he did run for governor. He did run for governor before he went to the house.
So why can't he? Why do we always have to have?
But there was a democratic process. The APC will tell you there was a democratic process.
I like that you said the APC will tell you.
That they will tell you.
The same way they tell us that the local government elections are free and fair.
Well, we have people vote for these people into office.
Or we have videos where we are seeing people compete.
That happens everywhere now. It happens everywhere. So please, yes, we are talking about you joining the PDP and why you chose the PDP. Yeah. You're in the Labour Party now, you're the candidate of the Labour Party. Yeah. The next question, obviously, will now be, what happened? We know the story. We hear, okay, no, let me rephrase. We hear the story about how you withdrew for the candidate of the party. Then afterwards, there was a little bit of drama. You left, and you're here now. What do you hear from the horse's mouth?
It was a simple thing. An agreement was made with leaders of the party in the north, and so solely based on that agreement, that we withdrew my candidacy at the door. Right? At the door, I withdrew based on this agreement. Later on, the agreement was reneged on, and I left the party because for me it was about honor. Politicians you sell hope, and in selling hope, you are selling an idea that these words I'm telling you, you can hold them, they are valuable. You can take them and you can count on them and vote for me. Make a decision of your future based on these words I'm telling you. And when I see so early in the game that the person does not have the capacity to stick to their word, that's why with leaders that are old enough to be their fathers, then there was no position there for me, at least in this, and I was not going to be marginalized or put to sit down in the corner. That's not me. It's not the ground.
So instead of any further happenings, you just said, let me just take my things.
Yes, because when you see that, the party is making decisions based on, other interests, right? I don't want to go to deep into that, but other interests, then you just have to go and look for a place where you appreciate it.
Okay, so I want to pick a scenario. The drama within the PDP had happened, and you knew that, okay, because you had the desire to serve, like you said in the past, you just needed to find another platform. You were in 1,001 parties. At the time, I'm trying to remember if Peter Obi had emerged as the candidate, if he had crossed into the LP or anything of the sort. I'm trying to remember if that's what happened. So you were shopping around and you said that you're LP. Why?
Well, LP for several reasons.
I forgive me. Yeah. But at the time, the LP was virtually not.
Yes. Okay. Especially in Lagos, Peter Obi had come into it. There's been some excitement building, but it was nothing like what it is today. It was nothing like what it became. But Peter Obi has a lot of endearing qualities, and I see a lot of myself in him, in the distaste for waste, in the idea of how resources should be managed, in the idea of bringing compassion and love back to politics, in the idea of empathy, in the idea of, let us stretch these resources so that everybody can be taken care of. Transformational leadership. And I feel that endeared me to choose the Labour Party. And also Labour Party, when I met with them, they were the first group of people that I felt had some semblance of ideology. Right? Fair enough, I feel that it needs to be revamped to meet up with today's world. I mean, Lenin and Karl Marx, all these guys are much older. Their philosophies, time has tested them, right? And things have evolved. Look at Nordic countries, they have a mixture of capitalism and socialism. Anyway, it was interesting to engage in those kind of enlightened ideological conversations. And I felt that the Labour Party presented a good platform. I was drawn to it. was drawn to.
So it was not because you wanted your name to be on the ballot by whatsoever means exactly. You said you had similarities in the ideology.
Yeah.
That's why you came.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So
similarities. Wait, no. I said Peter Obi as a candidate was extremely endearing. Is somebody that I respect a lot and I feel will truly be a transformative leader. And that played a huge part in it. And then also the welcome I got from the party, talking to people, meeting people. I felt that, we really belong to something. And also the idea that labor unions also form the bulk of the membership of this party was also a plus. You had ready voters, ready organizations that you tap into and build up and aggregate to build.
Do you hold a grudge with Jami and the people?
I don't hold a grudge with the PDP. I don't hold a grudge with
Jami.
I believe that what it did was despicable, in my opinion, but God has a way of doing it. So when God has written a letter that is even sweeter than the letter you wrote to yourself, you have no reason to hold God. He just played a part. The story of Joseph, if he did not go through prison and go through all those travails, he would never have become leader. So it was part of the journey, it was part of his destiny. There's no better way that this could have been written. So I'm thankful for all the actors that have played a part in all of this.
People say, politics goes down to serve the people. You've said it yourself. I want to ask, from local government chairman to senator and anything, this thing will be costing money. It will be costing a lot of money. Can you tell us if you will ask how much you spend so far? And give us a figure.
How? A lot of money. Right there, I can give a figure, I'll be lying, but the money is plenty. But more than that. But the chip now. Never reach that side. But it's not just me. I have friends that donate, family that donate, well wishers that donate. I also use my money. My wife works to bring money. Everybody, because they believe in me. Right, and it's also about establishing that sports, it's family. Family is more than just you are related by blood. Family is, we see where you are going, we respect where you are going, and we support where you are going. Right? So that's it. It's been a very positive journey. It's not without the sacrifices. It's not without this up and down. Because now 20 million today, tomorrow you are down 500,000, and it's politics. And some people will tell it's almost like gambling.
Okay. Another question I want to ask is this. You talked about your admiration of Peter Obi and you see yourself in him. Are you leaning on the popularity of Mr. Peter Obi? I don't want to remove the Labour Party from the but are you leaning on the popularity of Mr. Obi in the hopes that it will take you to make you become the next governor?
Mr. Peter Obi has a lot of goodwill. We have a lot of goodwill, and we are in natural alignment, right? Not just as party members, but the same value system. To say one will not lean on that is the pillar of our party we wish to be. Right? It's like a built house. We have come into my house. No, you want to go and build your own house separately. You just add to the house, decorate it, do your own best, sell yourself, be a value add. So at least in Lagos, there's a junior Peter Obi there. It's that simple, right? There's so much that he has experienced, there's so much opportunities that he's had, he's built so much for himself in such a short time. So definitely I'm happy to work with him, with someone that I admire. I don't have to hold by those to sell him. I don't have to pretend as if this and this did not happen to sell him. He's a good market.
The last governorship debate that happened, we talked about fact that you wanted to sort out the problem. You've been very vocal about it. You've talked about it.
I went as far as saying for Lagos to grow, agberos must go.
Okay, which is understand. We understand is where you're looking at. But we've had people say this is the problem with this young people, with this Gbadebo people and everything. You want to just change the status quo. So you remove agberos, what happens?
We make them productive members of society.
But they're productive already. Now, if you look at how they're doing.
They've normalized the idea of monkey the work back in the church. When bus drivers start to protest and complain that it's too much, they're suffocating them, and it's too much. See, the amount of money these people collect, where does that money go? 120 billion plus. Guess who's paying for that? It's us.
But they have a union.
Even if they have a union, right? These funds, how is it benefiting them in the union? If a young man gets hit by a car as he's chasing one car with a stick, what is going to happen to that young man? Who is going to take care of him? Who will those ills fall on? And these are a huge population of young people in Lagos State. They are also tied to drugs, drug addiction. They're tied to criminality. They're tied to robberies that have been happening. They're tied. There was a young man I said during my state of state address where he lost his sight because it's all the same organized crime family. Right? Whether you want to call it a union or whatever you want to call it. The Mafia is a union. It's made up of several unions. Lagos State is run like a mafia government. It's that simple because from the woman in Saleko that they are collecting monthly taxes from, to the business in Lagos Island or in Ikeosa where the LCD will come and collect tax. The local government come and collect tax. What are they using this money for? How does it translate to a better life for us? Directly. And then, even more so when I meet these people and I talk to them, they are all about jobs. They want jobs. They don't want to be on the street holding a stick, beating cars. How long are they going to do that for? Their life is wasting away in front of them. And guess what? They are stockpiling all this money and sending somebody who has sent his children to university. Those children will not be on the road doing agberos work. They are living Banana Island. They are going to get jobs and work in Microsoft and be productive members of society. But these young men are going to use their youth to chase cars and aggregate money for these people. What is going to happen to them as they get older? How do they will take care of their children? What schools will they send their children to? What of all the children that are 2 million children out of school currently now? They are looking at young men with sticks and making some seemingly amount of money. They are literally playing. Because it's play. You see, what makes a boy become a man is discipline. You go to school, you sit down, you have to read, you have to prepare. It makes you a productive member of society. But when you are just standing on the road, holding stick, you do that for so many years, afterwards you cannot be employed, you're standing by the corner, you're on drugs, criminality comes calling, you get involved in that. When I talk to people, you see that they're just vulnerable youth, that the state has failed and is pushing them in directions that bring out the worst in them, not the best in them. And that's what we're going to change. You're not snapping fingers and say, agberos, get off the street. We're going to engage them as stakeholders in their local government and domicile these programs in the local government and ensure that companies that are doing work in local government employ people that are products of these programs that we're doing in terms of employability skills. I'm an architect. When we want to do tying or POP, we bring people from Cotonou and Togo. You know what? There are so many young Nigerians that are looking for work. Why? Because they don't have the skill set. When you want to do decent finishing, you have to go and find people that have the skill set. So we need to train these people. Vocational studies, digital studies. A lot of these boys also are Yahoo boys. They spend so much time on a computer. Why can't they learn how to code?
Instead of
you can learn how to code. You code. Right? We give you those skills, open you up to employment in the world. Right? You can stay in Lagos and be earning money from San Francisco. So that's the idea, right? We want to create enabling environments and want to bring out the best in people. Like Peter Obi always says, we are moving from consumption to production. Right? And every member of Lagos needs to tie into that. Right? We are no longer normalizing this easy money. You know, this intimidation that they take without giving. And the funny thing is, you see that hike, 90% of Lagosians spend over 45% of their salary on transport. That money is high because the bus driver that's paying that money to agberos, you think he's just paying that to his pocket, he's going to prorate it to all the passengers. Similar thing, 30-40% of the cost of food ties into logistics costs. It's cheaper to bring in something from China to Apapa than take it from Apapa to Kogi. Why? Agberos all along the way, all the different checkpoints. So we are the ones that are still paying all these monies, even though we think the money is getting to their hand through the drivers. But it's us that's facing those situations. So that needs to be changed.
That's why you want to change.
Yes, we need to make them productive members of society, enable them to have decent jobs that add to their GDP as a state. We want to make our state #1 in Africa in terms of GDP. And it's doable. Because look at all the challenges we have in Lagos and we're still number 4. Imagine there was no traffic problems. Imagine if we improve the ease of doing business. We'll be number 1 without a doubt.